Hello, everyone. I am ZHAO Chuang. Let's draw the body of Alamosaurus. In our current perception, Alamosaurus might hold its neck and head high, advancing by long strides. Observed from a normal perspective, it may be a squarish composition. At the beginning of drafting, we should determine the positions of the various body parts on the paper. Besides, we should pay attention to the proportions of each body part. It had a very long neck. Although its torso was massive, it looked small compared to its whole body. So, pay attention to the proportion of its torso in the picture. When drafting, we can pinpoint each part first, and then start this drawing from the torso, because its torso is a challenging part for us to draw. The ratio between its torso and the neck and tail is relatively complicated. In addition, its feet will step on the ground, and the position of its feet on the ground is also the lowest level in the entire picture. The bottom of the picture also determines the layout of the whole composition of this drawing. Its face and feet will appear very small and challenging to draw, so we may not draw too many details, but use a few simple strokes to express the charm of this animal. Now, let's draw the body of Alamosaurus. We first determine several points on the paper. We show the rough outline of the neck with dotted lines. Its belly is roughly here. We use a lighter line to represent it. Then, there's the shoulder on this side. We draw the line on the back and only draw it to the middle of the back, because there are many prominent spikes on the rear part. The neck became thicker toward its root. Then, draw its shoulder. Followed by the root of the neck, and the shoulder blades with lighter lines. Now, we can show the arm on this side. Its hands had fingers that pressed together vertically to form a hoof-like structure. It had a thumbnail. Then, go down from the chest all the way to its belly. This part can be drafted with lighter lines. Between the thighs and the torso, we can use light lines to draw some folds. Then, draw the hind limb on this side. Then, complete the outline of the belly and the other leg. Now, let's draw the head. The highest part was located its pretty small eyes. Draw circles of skin next to the eye. Then, the top of its head, followed by its mouth. The corners of the mouth were curved downwards. We can add some wrinkles here. Then, we come to its lower jaw. We can draw some teeth on the front half of its mouth. Next, draw the boundary line between the beak and the skin above the teeth. Then, draw the nostril. Here, we draw its ear. The entire neck of sauropods had poor mobility, but it was good at moving at both ends. So, more wrinkles can be drawn behind the head and in front of the shoulders. Draw some folds on this side of the neck to show the turning of the sides and bottom of the neck. Then, draw some muscle traces on the neck. Now, we outline its ribs. Draw 2 rows of short spikes on the back, which evolved from huge armor plates. It also had many large plates on the sides of its body. The armor plates may be arranged in several rows, getting smaller as they go down. Those on the lower part can be directly drawn into black dots. Try to draw a little shadow underneath the spikes to make them look like a round, bulging, three-dimensional structure. Then, we come to its chest. Draw some more folds at these joints of the arms. Followed by some muscle structures on the arms. Next, along the side of the neck, we draw some structural lines slightly. The so-called structural lines are the circular auxiliary lines around the object, which can make it look three-dimensional. The same goes for the lower part of the neck, where the structural lines are relatively flat. Then, we outline the other side of the neck at this position. Add some shadows to the underside of the neck and belly. The depth of the shadows in these two parts should be as uniform as possible to make the whole picture look more integrated. When drawing large animals, we can make the shadows stronger. Now, let's use a solid line to draw the bottom of the tail directly. On the top of the tail, draw a row of spikes extending from the back. those spikes would disappear at the end of the tail. The end of the tail becomes very thin, and we just draw its wing over. Then, draw some wrinkles on the side of the tail. Now, let's add more details. Draw some circular patterns on the neck. Such a relatively long body often has some circular patterns to break the contour line of the animal and make it look like it is in segments. Draw some more detailed folds under the neck. Then, we show 3 toenails on the hind limbs, and the muscles on the legs can also be strengthened. Finally, draw its shadow on the ground. Good, like this, we've finished drawing the body of Alamosaurus.